We need audit eye to review them. Beyond that, we also need all the assets.
Do you have any time frame in mind that this will get done?
Yes, we are working to ensure the 2025 annual accounts. Before the production, we might have started deploying this impairment guideline. So we are in August now. Before the end of the year, we might have finished all the necessary engagements and we'll start the deployments. The next national account is due for submission to the Auditor General in March or by end of March 2026. We hope to do this before then. Thank you.
But this IPSAS has been in, it was passed about a couple of years ago, right? And it takes that long for you to fully comply.
Yes, Honorable Chair, IPSAS, we've adopted this as long as 2004, but progress has been very slow, and as indicated by Honorable Chair, we even have to look at our laws and then activate a very serious institutional action to be able to achieve what we want to achieve fully under IPSAS. But thank God, in the 2023 annual account, Ghana became full compliant at the national level. So we are just working to deepen the achievements. And Audit Service has been a very, very useful partner in this regard, including what we are discussing now. Thank you.
Okay, the next one is unreconciled intercompany account balances in the WGA trial balance. And Honorable Nana Osei-J will take that one.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Controller, as my chairman said, this one is unreconciled intercompany account balances, the whole of government account trial balance. We all know that the intercompany account balance should have zero balances in the consolidated trial balance. If there are imbalances, I think it has effect on the financial statements of the country. Let me go to what the auditors said. We recommended that the Controller and Accountant General investigate the source of the balances, opening and closing, which there's a difference in it, and make the necessary corrections to ensure accurate consolidation. Additionally, the consolidation procedures and controls should be reviewed and strengthened, particularly around the closing and the roll-forward mechanisms. Controller, my first question to you is, can you please take the committee through the process where you arrived at these imbalances, so that the whole of Ghana will know how you arrive at these figures? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Director for National Accounts will handle this observation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Yes, this is one of the issues, and we want to say auditors are bringing out to draw attention to systemic issue we have as a country when it comes to financial reporting. So we are not disputing this audit observation, but we rather use the opportunity to throw light on what the situation is. It has to do with the GIFMIS. The GIFMIS was adopted to help both processing of financial transactions and financial reporting from the onset. The setup was originally done to process transactions at budgetary central government level. And for those who have technical eye or mind, we have the chart of accounts that define the classification of transactions on the system. And there's a segment called balancing segment, where we are able to balance the accounts on the system to produce financial statement. Now, when the system was set up, GIFMIS was to produce one balance sheet for the country, just one balance sheet for the country. Till we got to a point where we realized, no, each entity is a spending and reporting entity and must have the functionality to be able to produce its own set of accounts on the system and balance its own accounts accordingly. But unfortunately, at the time, we were running on budgetary central government. We came to central government. MMDAs, SOEs, data were not coming to the system. So when the CAGD started a journey to expand the scope of the national account and the need to get each entity to, each reporting entity to balance its own account, the system set up as we had it could not accommodate this. So as we speak, the GIFMIS is able to give us up to trial balance stage. And when we get a trial balance, the transactions that happen between government entities are the intercompany transactions we are talking about. There should be automatic net off. So when Parliament of Ghana enjoys electricity from ECG, when you are producing whole of government account, ECG will report money paid by Parliament to ECG as revenue, and Parliament will report this as expenditure. But if you are treating Ghana as a single economic entity, there is no revenue, there is no expenditure. This should net off to get the zero, as Honorable Member indicated. The system should be able to do this automatically, but the setup currently does not support this. But we can also not wait for the system, so we have to find a workaround to address this. So what is happening currently is that we run the trial balance from the GIFMIS or anyway, and we identify these intercompany transactions that are hanging instead of being zero. Then we manually do the adjustments when we are doing the consolidation, which auditors duly acknowledge, and that's what we are doing. So the issues raised by auditors have been addressed. They did not impact on the account being audited. We have manually taken care of them during the account consolidation process. But I believe the auditors are drawing attention to the fact that we need to get the system up to speed to address this very key, this very important functionality. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Controller. Please, so in this particular instance, what happened?
This particular instance, you find we run the trial balance, the consolidated trial balance. So it's supposed to balance, but you see these intercompany transactions hanging, and that's what the auditors have identified. It's something that we ourselves we know of. Auditors are just highlighting it.
Thank you. Controller, so what are the measures being put in place now to avert the occurrence of this abnormality? And also give us some time frame so that next year we will not be seeing these imbalances again.
Yeah. Honorable Chair, to address this, we really need to relook at the GIFMIS. The GIFMIS in its current form requires some refitting. And the scope of the national accounts is above what the GIFMIS can accommodate currently. So we just have to refit the GIFMIS to address this and many other issues that are lingering at this point. So GIFMIS should be given attention, Honorable Chair.
And Mr. Chairman, I want to confirm that this issue has been brought to the attention of the Ministry of Finance. The Comptroller and Accountant General has written a report asking for an upgrade of the GIFMIS system. And so it is something that we are looking at to see what can be done to upgrade it so that it can contain the whole of the account and perform all the functions that needs to be performed. And so I cannot give timelines here because I know of government assurance, but I can confirm that this information has been brought to the attention of the Minister, and we are thinking through what to do. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I think it is just a matter of allocating monies for this. That is the point. So the Minister should set his priorities right, because this is very, very important. It is a matter of allocating money to make sure you get the right licenses and training as well. So this is about funding, and so I would ask that the Minister in the 2026 budget can allocate some portions of the revenue to start something concerning the GIFMIS system. And I believe that will go a long way to save our country from some of the infractions that the Auditor General cites us for. And so it's over to you. It's all about allocating some monies. And so he should set his priorities right and make sure you give some monies to handle this, Honorable Minister. In all fairness, this is not about politics or anything, but I think that it is more about allocating some funding. You cannot, conclude maybe in one financial year, but at least you can part away with some funding that if in this year I want to conclude on a portion of it, that will enable all MDAs come on board and do the basic things that the Auditor General cites them for. And then in moving forward, we will do the more advanced things, and that will be good. And so we'll look out for it in the 2026 budget. I know you are preparing to bring the budget to Parliament, so please pass on this message to your minister. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I want to thank the former Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance for the admonition, and to say that I know she knows what it is. And the controller brought this to her attention at the time, and it is being brought to our attention. But I can assure her that we are committed.
Like I said, this is not about politics, because as we sit here,
I'm
we
not
don't
talking
do politics.
I'm
What we are
assuring
saying
you
is that
and
you are
the
now
whole
in
people of
government,
Ghana.
and so if it is possible for you to allocate some monies, I'm sure certain things were done, licenses were renewed, and we could not finish everything. But you are in the helm of government now, so continue with where we left off.
Yes,
and I think it's a fair admonition to give.
I am
So you don't have to
thanking you
remind
for the-
people that we were in government and we did some. We renewed certain licenses. So take it up from there. And I
Honourable
think that should be enough.
Honourable Chairman, yes, I'm just giving you the assurance that it has been brought to our attention, and we are working in earnest to make sure that we upgrade the GIFME system so that it can operate well for all of us. Thank you, Chairman.
But this is 2024 report, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. She was there. Okay.
Chairman.
This goes right.
So, governance is continuous. We expect that if it was not done in the past, it should. It doesn't mean that we should. Let's continue to progress Ghana. But yes, but just to bring to your attention, so last year, when in our rounds, especially dealing with the schools and all of that, and assemblies, they usually bypass the GIFME system with the excuse that the assemblies are not hooked up to the internet. Has this come to your attention, and what exactly are you doing to ensure that every assembly or MDA that deals with the GIFME system has reliable internet access? This question should be going to the Ministry of Communications, but because a lot of these infractions come up all the time, I just want to bring to your attention, if you are not aware, and let's find a way of releasing funds to ensure that at least every assembly or every MDA is hooked up to the internet, so that they do not come with the excuse that we were not connected to the internet. Minister, if you have something.
Chairman, this is a very good information, and I want to say that today, any MDA that gives internet as an excuse for not operating within the GIFME system is just giving that as a convenient excuse. Because, look, we have seen clearly that institutions that are even far away from the capital, in the remote areas, are using the GIFMEs, and those who are in the cities are rather using internet as an excuse. So that cannot be the real reason why some institutions are failing to operate within the GIFME system. In fact, the Budget Committee, chaired by Honorable Kweku Kwarteng, has started an exercise, and they have started inviting every institution that is not operating within the GIFME system to explain why they are failing to do so. I participated in that meeting, and we are working with Controller to remove all the obstacles, all the challenges for which they are not able to operate within the system. We've given ourselves some timelines. And so I want to believe that next year it should be difficult for anybody to come here and give an excuse why they are not operating within the GIFMIS system. And so I appreciate this concern, but it is something that we are really working on. Thank you.
Okay, this falls right into the next infraction, partial compliance with GIFMIS usage. And Honorable Shirley, Chair will take that one.
Thank you, Chair. So, as Chair indicated, there are some covered entities that are not fully compliant with the GIFMIS system. And we know what this does is to increase the risk of material misstatements and also undermine efforts to promote accountability, transparency, and effective public financial management system. Why are some covered entities not complying fully? Can you educate the committee on this?
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, covered entities subsiding on GOG funding are on GIFMIS. I mean, those who receive releases from Ministry of Finance for their payments are all on GIFMIS. The gap is the other funding source, which is the donor, the statutory funds, and the IGF. These are the institutions which are not on GIFMIS. And as Honorable Minister said, the Budget Committee actually requested for a list of institutions that are not on GIFMIS. That information was given. I think they started inviting those institutions. But what we want to do as controller is that we realize that it's very convenient for the covered entities not to use GIFMIS because they are able to refer their payments even outside GIFMIS. And we've started a program. We want to do it. We are going to gradually withdraw the manual checks in the system. So gradually we'll withdraw the manual checks, and that will compel them to use the GIFMIS. If you process and you can't effect payment, then of course you'll be compelled to use GIFMIS. And that is what we have discussed with Ministry of Finance. We have their support. They are even saying that if there's any payment that is outside GIFMIS at the Ministry of Finance, we should start with them. So we are going to come out with a program. We've had discussions with GIPS, which is Ghana Interpayment and Settlement System, to use the EFT with the commercial banks. We are going to sign a service level agreement with them, with the commercial banks as well. So we'll do it. We are going to do that. And they'll be forced. They'll be compelled to use GIFMIS. It's something that we are going to do. Thank you.
So these are promises that I look forward to you fulfilling. But how soon can we expect you to do this?
We did a pilot, and I think one is it Ablukuma South Municipal Assembly. Currently, they are using the EFT, and it's working. We want to build on that, and then, as I said, that will be done gradually. We want to identify all the manual checks in the system. We set up a committee with Controller and Accountant General, Bank of Ghana. We'll identify them, and then we'll take it from there. We also don't want to create inconvenience for the covered entities, because if you have done the manual checks, then you should make sure that the GIFMIS system and then the processes are also working very well. So it will take time, but we are looking at the end of the year. We will have withdrawn a lot of the manual checks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, in addition to this, in fact, we want to give the covered entities that are not operating fully using the GIFMIS, especially those using their IGFs. They are the main culprits now. We want to give them the benefit of the doubt. And so as a follow-up to the parliamentary engagements with them, we have invited them to meet with the Ministry of Finance and Controller and Accountant General's Department. We want to give them, to agree with them on some timelines. Because, as the controller said, after a certain time within this year, you will not be able to spend your money if you are not operating within the GIFMIS system. And because we are government, we also don't want government services to suffer, the citizenry to suffer in accessing some of these services. So we want to be fair to everybody. But very soon we will announce the timelines, and after which time manual checks cannot be issued unless you operate within the system. And so I'm sure we can share those timelines with you after we have extensively engaged them next week over the timelines that will agree with them. Thank you.
All right, the next infraction is on paragraph 53, inadequate disclosure of significant investment and disinvestment. And Honorable Enim will take care of that one.
Thank you, Chair. So, Chair, this has to do with inadequate disclosure of significant investments and disinvestments. So the auditors noted that Controller recognized disinvestments in public institutions amounting to 10,296,229,559 Ghana cedis, and new investments totaling 19,247,229,144, as presented in Schedule 4. I would want the Controller to run the committee through the processes involved in recognizing investments and disinvestment, and also the role of independent valuers, internal audit, and external auditors.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Director for National Accounts will handle this one.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. First, the process of handling or accounting for investment and disinvestment. Well, investment in its simple terms, when these entities put money somewhere expecting to get something out of it, is the investment. So if within the reporting period they've done something new, it's an addition, as indicated by the auditors. And if they decide to withdraw or, how do we call it, end the investment by taking back their money, it's a disinvestment. So I refer you to page 455 of the report. That's where you find those details. Now, what auditors are raising again is a standard, it's a requirement by the IPSAS. And let me indicate that, Controller, we are not directly involved in doing this investment and disinvestment. What we do is to aggregate what the entities have done. So sometimes it becomes very difficult to know specific reasoning, timing behind this investment at the accounting stage. But what we want to do is to really get these entities to know this IPSAS requirement as raised by auditors, that in their books, they should provide adequate disclosure to clarify what is accounting for additional investment in their books and what is accounting for disinvestment in their books. So when we are doing consolidation, to the extent possible, we can give a summary, a highlight as a matter of disclosure on this. This is what we've not done, and auditors are raising it, and we thought it's appropriate. But one challenge and one other thing we'd like to draw audit and the committee's attention is that the national account, the whole of government account, is a consolidated account. And it's not every information that we can put in. And if you go to page, Schedule 4, page 455, we are talking about over 300 entities. So is it the case that each of the entities we have consolidated, we have to explain the purpose, the nature, the transaction, asset involved, date, amount, and method of acquisition, financial impact, gains, losses, valuation, any ongoing commitment, risk, and benefit, alignment with government policy and strategic objectives? We are just wondering how we'll be able to capture all these things in the national account. Already, these documents...
I think that I would want to come in here.
Thank you.
This is a consolidated account.
That's correct.
And IPSAS is clear on disclosures. So irrespective of the number of covered entities, there is no excuse. So please, if it would take three booklets to get these disclosures done, I think you should follow that.
No problem.
Yes. And we are here to peruse whatever documentation you provide. So for us, that is no excuse. The auditors recommended that you should enhance instructions to reporting entities. What have you done about this so far?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, we have really developed a comprehensive manual templates and tools to guide all covered entities, and that has been acknowledged by the auditors. I humbly refer you to page 12 of the Auditor General's report. And yes, page 12 of the Auditor General's report. Compliance with international public accounting standards. And I humbly read paragraph 62. The Controller and Accountant General adopted the international public sector accounting standards accruals in the preparation of the 2024 whole of government account. The Controller and Accountant General developed the underlisted tools to enhance compliance with the IPSAS. With IPSAS, the accrual basis of accounting and reporting at the national and entity level for use by covered entities. So the tools have been mentioned: accruals reporting template, IPSAS accruals accounting policy, IPSAS compliance shadow account, IPSAS compliance checklist, training manual, and asset register. This is the statement. This was to achieve transparency, accountability, and fair presentation of the whole of government account. And this is the statement from the Auditor General. I must commend the Controller and Accountant General and his team for this achievement. So this has been done. What is needed is the entities to utilize them, and we are helping them. They need a lot of training to be able to utilize it. Thank you very much.
How would you ensure that going forward, now you have provided all the things that you have done, but in terms of evidence, do we have evidence that these covered entities have received these instructions? Because you would say it, and it's another thing, them receiving these instructions. Yeah. So do we have evidence to support that all covered entities have been given these instructions as to how to make disclosures going forward so we do not get into these problems?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, we have evidence. These documents were launched at 2024 Annual Conference of Controller and Accountant General. And as I speak, they are all on the Controller's website for all entities to download and use. We've also administered training for over 1,200 public sector accountants. We have the list of all the trainees available and their entities. We can make it available if requested. Thank you.
Since we have the auditors here, auditors, are you satisfied with these explanations?
Honorable Chair, yes, we are satisfied with the explanation given.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Controller. You are discharged.
No, I have a few questions.
Hold on, please.
Unfortunately, Mr. Chairperson, I need 2 more minutes to ask.
Yeah, the former Minister for Finance.
Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance.
Yes, she wants to ask you questions.
Yes,
when she was there.
I'm looking at the actual accounts on page 43, and I see biological assets. And you're saying it includes agricultural bits. I just want to find out, how do you assess biological assets? The amount I see there is, to me, a bit on the low side, based on the definition you gave. The notes is 55B, but the actual is 43, page 43 on the accounts.
Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. This is another benefit of IPSAS. Biological assets technically are those assets of natural character. Animals we have, and those things that we are holding that are biological in nature, and they are not being held for the intention of selling them. When you have a farm, when you have cows and pigs in the farm, if they are not there for resale, they are there to produce, like University of Ghana having a farm. These are biological assets. We have to find a way of valuing them and accounting for them in our balance sheets. It's a highly technical area we are looking at now. So it's good you've spotted this, Honorable Chair. We are engaging Ministry of Agric and identifying institutions that have any engagements in the form of agric or related matters. Then we find a very suitable way of identifying this and valuing them. There are some technical complications, but IPSAS is a requirement of IPSAS, and we have to work to achieve it. The figure you've seen here is an indication that we have started something. So we'll build on it in the subsequent account, hopefully. Thank you.
Also, I looked at page, is it 588, the grants bit. And for certain countries that I know, there are usual development partners who in one way or the other bring in something. I don't see any figure there. I just want to find out from you why it is so.
Yes, that's true. Page 588. The grant schedule, we did not have any inflow from these development partners for 2024. And this, we collate this data from Ministry of Finance, the entities, and our Public Debt and Investment Directorate. Once there's no figure here, we still have them in our books, but within the reporting year, we did not receive any inflow from them. That could be the reason.
That's not possible for Japan, for Germany, for France, for Netherlands.
Yes. I don't know.
So, Ministry of Finance, maybe the right division should collaborate with the Controller Accountant General and help us get input for some of these grants, because I know that these countries, in one way or the other, contribute something. It can be nil. I know we are in the process of making sure we implement fully the IPSAS, but we should also take steps to ensure that any entity that is supposed to give you the right information does that, so that at the end of it, you give us a very comprehensive view of government assets and liabilities. And then finally, last week, Friday, we met Ghana Education Service, Ministry of Education, and consistently, every district that was cited for one infraction or the other had to do with overpayment and unearned salaries, and there was a third one. And payment of responsibility allowance to those not deserving of them. And for some of the districts, they maintained that they sent letters to Controller and Accountant General to halt these payments. Some said they have done that for a year. Others said they had done that for some months. And Controller and Accountant General has still not been able, has not stopped these payments. Controller, we want to find out from you that clearly, if there's evidence to that effect that they have actually written to your end, they have done everything that they need to do, and your people, as in Controller, has not done the needful, we will speak to the Auditor General and leadership and apply the necessary sanctions, because it is becoming too many. Some genuinely tell you, we sent the letters, we have proof, we have done this, we have done that. On Friday, it wasn't a pleasant situation at all. Consistently, we had more than 50 districts being cited for the same issue. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On Friday in the evening, I watched a bit of it on YouTube, and that was around 6 p.m. And I even sent a message to the Director General, Professor Davis, on the same issue. And that very evening, I called Mr. Mark Ilo that I wanted a copy of the audit report. And he has promised that this week I will get it. My issue is we shouldn't just end at recovery, because we realized that we were happy when they said recovered, and then we take, recovered, then we take. We should go beyond recovery. Who actually did it? If it is Controller, the inputs. So the audit report will definitely indicate the recipients and their staff ID, if that should be in the audit report. So I want that report. We are working in collaboration with other security agencies, OSP, because if somebody did it, definitely, we are using an Oracle system. There's an audit trail. We can go into the system and then know, identify who actually on that particular day process their allowances. It's something very easy that we can do. So what I'm saying is that once we get that, we should just extra patience, and then definitely with the investigation, those culpable will actually be brought to book. Because it's not a comfortable thing for me as well, because payroll issues has become something that almost every day I hear those issues. But on the issue of they written to us, Madam Chair, the processes that the letters go through, they don't come direct to controller. They write, if from the district, it goes to the region, it comes to headquarters before it comes to controller. So maybe we also have to investigate to find out that did the letters actually get to controller. There are situations where the district will write, it comes to the head office or even the region for about 6 months. So we also need to, that is what we want to meet GES and Ghana Health Service to look at our operations and their operations as well. And I remember I said this, we'll have a client service charter. We can revisit that and then agree on timelines. If there's a letter from a district to a region, how long should it be in the region before it comes to the head office? We should look at that. And then people keep on saying, we send the letter to controller, and for 1 year we haven't received the letter. And then you go to the district or region and you realize that the letter is still there. So we'll collaborate with them, and then they'll give us timelines, and this issue will be resolved. But for the audit report, I have requested for it, and we'll take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Controller. But I think that in order to expedite some of these things, you should give them, in this day of modern technology, give them 2 or 3 emails that once they send to from the district to the region should, so that there will be a paper trail. Sending emails is faster and more efficient than writing letters. And if you engage the heads of institutions, that moving forward, this is how you want to go about it. In addition to the letters coming to you, it will go a long way to solve some of these problems.
Madam Chair, thank you. It's one of the issues we want to discuss. What we want to do is that if it had to do with inputting, then we'll still expect that the hard copies will go through the region to the head office and then come to us. But if you had to do with stoppage, then of course, as you're saying, we can even start with the email. So once we receive the email...
But Controller, yes, in sending the email, they need to attach the relevant documents.
Yes, they will attach the relevant documents.
So if they attach the relevant documents, it's the same thing there.
No, it's the same thing, but as I said, if you have to do with inputting,
yes,
a new allowance or a new entrant, for that, it still has to go through that process. But for us to protect the public purse, what I'm saying that if we have to do with the stoppage of unwarranted allowance, then of course the email with the relevant documents, when it comes to us, we can stop the salary or whatever it is, whilst waiting for the original from the head office, so that we don't continue to pay unearned salaries to the recipient. That's what I'm saying. So.
Then finally, why is it that when sometimes mistakenly somebody's name is taken off the payroll, it takes forever? Controller, it takes forever for the person to be put back on it. Sometimes it's a genuine mistake from the validators. And, and sometimes too, it is a way of some of the heads showing teachers where the power lies. Exactly. And it's very, very painful. Since Friday, we've had a lot of these reports. It's very painful that genuinely, your name is taken off the payroll for one reason or the other. You have to go to controller, sometimes 8 good months, and you still haven't been reinstated. Meanwhile, you are there working, and for one reason or the other, you are being validated. How do we cure this?
Thank you, Madam Chair. If you have to do with the validators, of course, they validate. They are in the district, they are in their offices, and they will determine that this number of people deserve to be paid. So if for one reason or the other, they don't validate you, then it's the same process, it's the same validators and institutions that have to go through the process to validate you for us to pay you. We cannot, as controller, pay you if the validators haven't validated you. So these are some of the challenges that
when they bring proof to you that it was wrongly done, and so you have to reinstate the person. That's what I'm talking about. There are some people who vacate posts and they deserve to be taken off. But those who, for one reason or the other, are genuinely taken off, the validators will tell you they have done the right thing. They have sent the documentation and everything to controller. Sometimes they even show you evidence that this is what they have done. And the beneficiaries come all the way from the various places to come and sit in controller and see, who do I know to help me do this, help me do that. So let's not just explain it away. There are genuine reasons and genuine concerns. I think maybe you should have a desk dedicated specifically for these things, because sometimes when you hear their stories, controller, It's not too good.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have a DEX, we have a client service who deals with the payroll issues. And I think I remember I mentioned this somewhere that they come direct to the client service and then their issues are resolved. Those kind of issues. The issue is that some of the issues could have even been resolved at the district level, but we don't understand why people still want to see somebody to resolve their issues for them. We think they are genuine concerns, you've gone through the process, and they will be resolved. We'll see to that. But please, I want the Director of Payroll is here, and I want her to also practically tell us what happens. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Regarding the issue of responsibility allowance, normally when an officer of an institution is given additional responsibility, it's the institution that need to go through the normal processes to get that done. Now, for example, if in a school a teacher is given additional responsibility of a guidance and counseling coordinator, it is the institution that need to go through the processes for approval, and they are the ones, the personnel processing sections, they are required to capture this data on the payroll system. For example, if the officer was Assistant Director 1, 19, with the responsibility, it would be Assistant Director 19H if it was 19L. So you don't find it as a line item on the pay slip. It's just the change in job. So it's the institution that is supposed to capture this data on the payroll system and then inform controller. When, again, that responsibility is taken away from that officer, it's the institution, again, that is required to also change the job again to reflect the current job of the officer. Until that is done by the institution at the personnel processing section level, controller cannot do anything about it. We do not actually capture data regarding these issues.
In my submission, I said that once they identify and they claim, they bring it to controller, they don't act on it. So I'm not asking controller to go to the institution and check, but they are saying that once they are normally seen, they write letters to controller and they expect controller to do the needful. That was what they said on Friday.
Yeah.
So my issue is, why does it take so long? And the Controller and Accountant General explained that sometimes the processes through which these letters are brought to the attention of controller is the issue. And so we mentioned the fact that we should come up with some emails or some quickened way of addressing these things. So I get that very well. But my issue is, as soon as it is brought to your attention, do the needful to make sure these names are off, or those who are receiving allowances that they are not supposed to receive, go off. That's all I want to put across.
Honorable, the example I gave is that if they do not take action at their own level and they bring the letters alone, we cannot do anything about it. That is just the message I was trying to carry forward. But as soon as the
action without, they can't write a letter without taking action. Nobody does that.
You know, sometimes the letters can come to us without them taking action at their level. So most of the time we have to refer these documents back to their institutions.
Madam, these
to
are
take
administrative issues that you can check
on them.
So we ask that you check these things. The most important thing is that people are paid for what they have worked for.
Yeah.
Those who are not supposed to earn certain allowances shouldn't be put on those ones. So work with Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education to see how best we can rectify this. That's all we are saying. Nothing more, nothing less.
All right. Thank you.
Madam Chair, thank you. But I just want to add that we need cooperation from the general public. because sometimes the investigators find it very difficult to get to the bottom of it because people are not ready to cooperate. So if you're a teacher and someone has taken money from you, you ask who has taken money from you, and they find it very difficult to come out. No, just let us know. Pardon? Just let us know, to cooperate. What's the information that we are getting from the investigators? That these are sometimes they will start an investigation and get somewhere and they get stuck because they are not forthcoming with information for them to actually arrest the culprits. So please, if you're a teacher and someone has taken money from you, we are not going to mention your name. You just come out. We will have a way of doing it just so that we know those who are involved. If the controller staff, we will not show that person.
Controller.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. What we'll do is, on some of our sittings, we'll invite you to come and sit down and hear for yourself what is going on. And then you try to help us resolve these issues. When you have one institution that has unearned income of 270,000, one institution, then you ask yourself what is going on. And that's what the country is watching. They are watching you and I live.
Thank you, Mr.
I
Chairman.
wanted to...
Mr. Chairman, respectfully.
Controller, you said they should tell you, they should come out. How do they do that? I mean, we are on national television. How do they come to you? There should be a means. There should be a system where, let's say, a telephone line or an email where they are sending you an email. I mean, let the public know. We are live on TV.
We are coming out by next week. All the regions will advertise their telephone numbers, and then the head office as well will do that, and then the emails as well. We've started the process. So all the 16 regions will advertise in their dailies for if you have issues. You don't even have to travel to Accra. Just call the number. If you're in the Eastern region, you go to the regional director's office there, and they will have it. If they cannot, then they'll escalate you to the head office. So we'll advertise the telephone numbers for all the 16 regions. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you and to say that the genuine concerns of people who wait several months before being put back on the payroll is something that will be looked at. It is some reports that we have been made aware of. And I want to add also that we've come across some allegations of payroll-related fraud issues that we have asked the investigation agencies to investigate. Fortunately, because these things are done on the system, it is even possible for us to see who activated somebody, who deactivated the person, and all that. There was one that went viral recently about someone who complained that I think a teacher also, name was taken off the payroll. Somebody assisted him to get it on, and the person was demanding a lot of money from him. Because he did not pay, they went ahead and removed his name from the payroll. We have taken serious view of this, and it is being investigated. Fortunately, controller knows the person in the controller office who activated, who deactivated, but a lot more information need to come out for us to know what really went on and for the appropriate punishment to be meted out. And so the finance minister takes serious views to some of these things, and he's asked that we have an in-depth investigation into it. We will apprise the general public of whatever the outcome is. And as Controller said, the public should be free to come forth with any information that will help us nip this trend in the bud. But also, very, very important thing for us to realize is that before anybody is paid from any of, from GES, from Ghana Health Service, anywhere that is on the payroll, somebody has to validate that there is this person in the VRAJHS number 1 in Akosombo who is a teacher, and me, the head of the institution or whoever, I'm validating that the person has worked and must be paid. We are going to the extent of identifying validators and bringing them to book if they validate people who have not worked for a particular month. And so we must all be on guard and realize that everybody has a responsibility to protect the integrity of our payroll. Because the system where we clean the payroll and only for ghosts to re-enter the payroll and all that, I think must come to an end. And so thank you, Chairman. I think Controller is here. They must take this as an admonition for them to go and work efficiently to make sure that genuine people who for one reason or the other find their names off the payroll are brought on within the shortest possible time. I know that they will want to be cautious in putting people back on the payroll, but 6 months, 8 months cannot be an acceptable time frame. And so it is something that I think we need to take in good faith and all work together to clean. Thank you.
Minister, 1 minute. And the last thing has to do with the banks who received these monies. You know, sometimes when their attention are brought to some of these wrongful payments, they refuse to send it back. Last week, Friday, we had one from a rural bank, and the attention had been drawn to the fact that it was a wrongful payment, and yet still they were refusing to do the needful. So one of our colleagues here suggested that they speak to the Apex ARP, but since these banks are under you, under Ministry of Finance, we ask that you collaborate with them, and that once a notice is brought to their attention concerning this in a formal way, they need to do the needful. Because you can't have public funds sitting, government money sitting in your accounts, even when your attention has been drawn to the fact that these are monies that should go back to government coffers. So just to let you know of what happened on Friday and how Ministry of Finance can assist us in this regard. Thank you.
Controller, we have questions to ask your Central Region and Western Region office. Do you have somebody here to answer those questions? Or you are going to sit there and answer them?
One observation.
Two of them.
No. Are they two?
Okay. Honorable Jesso.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, so they were even asking me to humbly ask that you take that before they leave so they don't have to come back. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, just sorry to take you back a bit. Please allow me to straighten some record. Madam Chair made an observation of grant schedule on page 588 of the report. I got a bit alarmed that we saw 00, and that's not a good incentive. However, if you go back a bit to page 586, the grant schedule has actually been categorized into two categories: grant in cash and grant in kind. So the grant in cash actually has some figures from the DPs and other organizations. And it is the grant in kind component that we are seeing 00 recorded.
Okay.
So that our development partners do not see us as not recognizing their grants. So the grant in cash is actually from page 586. And so you see African Development Bank has about 120 million, and the others are listed. It is when you come to the grant in kind that we don't have figures. Okay, I thank you very much.
Very much.
Okay, Controller, now we'll go to paragraph 186 of the ministries, departments, and other agencies. And it's untransferred unearned salaries by banks. Honorable Nasi AJ will take that one.
Oh, okay. So this one? Yes. So everything has been paid? Okay. Okay. How many were there? 2 people? They didn't mention. But one person we use what? His committed pension. One person paid. And two, the rest we used committed pension. Okay. Deducted from their committed pension. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Controller, this is Aguna West District, Central Region. On untransferred, unearned salaries by the banks, totaling 308,827 Ghana cedis. And the auditors noted that several letters were written by Controller and Accountant General between April 2023 to December 2023, instructing banks to transfer a total unearned amount of 308,827.38 from the pensioners' individual accounts to government chests. These individuals were Emmanuel Otabil, David Kwabna Dakun, Frederick Howie, and Vincent K. Utu. The auditors recommended that the regional head of Controller and Accountant General should employ the use of court orders to recover the said amount with interest at the prevailing Bank of Ghana rate. Controller, I want to find out from you the steps taken so far and whether the said amount that belongs to all of us has been returned to chest. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. They've all been recovered, and we have the evidence here to show.
Auditors, please, can you confirm?
Honorable Chair, we are yet to be updated with the evidence that they have.
Controller, please, can you tender in the evidence?
Yes. Okay.
Chairman, please, the said amount has been recovered, so they've tendered in the evidence. Thank you.
Chairman, I don't know if the auditors will confirm, but the recommendation, they are yet to, have you confirmed? Their recommendation is that it should be recovered with interest. So I'm even interested to know whether it was recovered with interest or just the amount.
The auditors said that they are yet to get a confirmation from Controller. So probably maybe, Controller, you heard what your boss just said?
Yes.
So please ensure that before it gets to the auditors, there has to be interest attached to whatever you are giving to the state.
Okay, thank you.
It's a fair instruction from your boss, not us.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll check it.
Honorable, yes. 190 to 193.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. And the infraction is purchases of items for non-existing departments. And the auditors in the review of your books came across purchases made to the tune of 19,591 for the supply of office consumables on behalf of the Department of Rural Housing and also Parks and Gardens. However, by one Mr. Richmond Anson and Prince Nana Adey, the accountant and the director of budget of the division of RCC. But however, it was realized that these offices, these departments do not have designated offices physically in existence in the region. And this wasn't enough. And so the auditors recommended that you cannot purchase items for a non-existent office. And for that matter, the Mr. Richard Anson and Prince Nana Adey should refund the amount of 19,591. So the regional director of Controller was mandated to recover this amount from them and also to ensure that the two officers are sanctioned per Section 96 of the PFM Act. Controller, can you tell us the status of this recommendation of the Auditor General?
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. First, it's about the non-existence of the office. I also have a document here proving that a staff was seconded from RCC to the Department of Rural Housing. So that is why I'm a bit challenged that if RCC has seconded an officer to the Department of Rural Housing, why the auditors are also saying that there's a non-existent department. There is a letter here to that effect written by the RCC. Anyway, but the monies have so far been recovered. But another issue that I have with the auditor's recommendation was that my information was that they said the items were not delivered. And then there is an SRA that I've cited that showed that the SRA was signed by the storekeeper initially, which were not signed by the internal auditor. So then, if that is true, why then say that the head of the department and the accountant should be held responsible and who be asked to refund the money? Because the storekeeper, if it is true that the items were not delivered, then I think the storekeeper should also be held responsible, because the SRA is a document that shows that you signed to indicate that the items have been delivered in the right quantity and in the right specification. So if the storekeeper signed and the internal auditor did not sign, then there is a problem. So if they have to refund, my issue is that then the storekeeper as well should also be asked to be partner. That is an issue that we want to discuss with the auditors in the region and then find out. But so far, the two gentlemen have refunded money to the state, and there's evidence here to show to that.
Controller, you know, yes, some of these things, I don't think you are being fair to the auditors. They come to the entity. If they had seen all those documentation, I don't think they would have this in their reports. No. So it is not the fault of the auditors that, oh, they were there, you've seen, you've identified this, you identified that. Ask the people there whether during the exit conference they showed all those documents to the auditors. If they had done it, I don't think the auditors would have it here. And so let's work with them to make sure we clear this.
No, Madam Chair, my issue there are two issues. The first issue was the fact that they said there was a non-existent department of rural housing in the region. But I've also cited a letter from RCC seconding our staff to the department. That's why I was saying that we need to find out from them. Because if there's a letter from the RCC seconding
maybe
our staff...
At that time, your staff did not show proof of this.
Of this?
Yes.
Okay. Then, and my second issue about the fact that...
So, no, you lost that when the auditors were at your end. You should have explained all these
things. No, this didn't happen in the Western... No, so I got this information from my officer.
When I say you lost, I don't mean you in particular, but Controller Accountant General in your capacity. Because the auditors came there, they sat with you. And so if for one reason or the other you have found documentation, the best thing to do is give it to the auditors, let them clear you, and then we close this infraction. And we move on. But we won't come and allow you to lecture the auditors on what to do and what not to do, respectfully.
But auditors, can you confirm or otherwise what the Controller Accountant General is saying?
Honorable Chair, we are yet to be updated with the recovery as he has indicated.
Controller, up till now, the auditors don't have the information you have.
I even have, they sent it to me even on WhatsApp, because I called the regional director to make sure that it is done. And I gave them a hard copy to be given to them. Yes.
But Controller, excuse me.
Yeah.
You are not the auditor. The auditors were the ones who cited them.
Yeah.
So if they have that information, they should share with the auditors. Up to now, the auditors don't have copies of it.
I'm saying I made sure that the refund was effected, and then I asked the regional director to send me a copy of the pay-in slip. So they sent it to me on my WhatsApp last week, and then I gave it to, forwarded to our staff that he should run a copy and then give it to the auditors. So I made sure that it was done, and I have it here, yes.
So it goes to prove that your staff did not follow through it. That's what it is. If you have the information, let's make sure that you...
Oh, okay. My information copy was sent to the regional auditor.
All right.
But I have it here.
Auditors will follow up
okay.
on it. Okay, Controller, you are discharged.
Thank you.
Now let's call Ministry of Finance. And all those who are going to answer questions, please stand up and let them swear you in if you haven't been sworn in yet. Hello, Ministry of Finance, please. Get ready and then let's swear you in, please. Where's the Chief Director? Those to be sworn in, please stand up, let's swear you in. We have a long list today.
I, Isaac Fueko, swear by the Almighty God, that the evidence I shall give before this committee, touching the matter in issue, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Please introduce yourself to the committee.
Good morning, committee members. My name is Jacob Ahaji, Director Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance.
Good morning, Chair. Fueko Isaac is my name, Director of Budget, Ministry of Finance.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Efua Brown Pobi, Director Account, Director Finance. Thank you.
All right, your infraction is on paragraph 161. And Honorable Abna Oseyasari will take care of that one.
Thank you very much, Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance, this is on the Ganishi orders on the Ministry of Finance's bank accounts. Can you brief us on the updates, and we can take it up from there, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Ministry of Finance, as we know, acts as an MD and a central agency. And because of the role we play in releasing of judgment funds, more often than not, when a judgment is given in the court, our account is garnished. Most of the garnished notices that we receive are not for Ministry of Finance. Some are land compensation. Most of them are land compensation. And we've been suffering for this judgment being placed on our account for a while. We've tried to do something about it, but then the court gives a judgment and the bank notifies us. And honestly, it's very difficult for Minister of Finance as an MDA, because you'll be there and you've processed things, it goes through the processes, gets to CAGD, and they release our funds for us, only to be told that your money, there's a garnishee on it, and so you cannot do any payment. And it's been very hard. And so the auditors, when it happens like that, then immediately you have to use an account that is there to receive funds to pay the suppliers, subsequent funds. And so we've been commingling, like they said. And there is nothing for now we can do till the garnishee placement on our account ceases. Thank you.
The Auditor General advised that they advised Bank of Ghana to also desist from doing that. But it looks like for Bank of Ghana, they receive court orders and then they are supposed to implement these court orders. I think on this particular situation, we should work with the Attorney General to see how best we can address some of these things, because as far as I know, every ministry, department, or agency has its own budget that they should rely on for some of these things. Unless, well, sometimes there's a line item at Ministry of Finance that takes care of some of these judgment debts, and so they think that once they have payment of a judgment debt in their favor, they should attach Ministry of Finance's account. So, Honorable Minister, please, if we can work together with the AG's department and Bank of Ghana to address this situation, because it can be very, very embarrassing sometimes, especially when you know you have processed and some payments are due, you have to go ahead and pay, only for you to be told that your account has been garnished by the courts because of one thing or the other that is not directly related to Ministry of Finance.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Chairman.
What have you done about this 150 million Ghana cedis? Have we resolved that issue, or the money is gone?
Mr. Chairman, I would want to speak about what Chairman Abena said. In fact, this is worrying because in all these cases, Ministry of Finance is not directly involved. Somebody at the road ministry awards a road contract and they are not able to pay. And so the contractor takes government to court, and at the end of the day, the Ministry of Finance account is garnished because of a judgment that, because of the transaction. It is important that we have a legal framework that will protect Ministry of Finance from these rampant court actions that is preventing us from operating our accounts. As she advised, we are engaging the Attorney General's Department and also Bank of Ghana, and even the Acting Chief Justice would also be helpful in this for us to understand the whole process and see how these issues can be resolved. But ultimately, as a government, we need to plan our finances in a way that commitment on the state is contained, so that we reduce the number of court actions and judgment debts that is being slapped on us frequently. And so this is a worrying trend, and we are engaging all the relevant stakeholders to see how we we can resolve this.
The next paragraph is on paragraph 171, and Honorable Davis Opoku-Ansah would handle that.
Thank you. Minister, Section 7 of the PFMA Act, PFMA, places a duty on principal spending officers to ensure that there is regularity and proper use of public funds. The auditors cite your ministry in committing 5.3 million Ghana cedis of taxpayers' money to rent an office accommodation for MIDA. And we know that MIDA is an entity that do not generate revenue, but it depends entirely on government subvention. In fact, the Auditor General describes this rent as expensive and unsustainable, and has recommended that you renegotiate. First, I want to find out what you have done about this infraction.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the decision has been taken by the ministry not to renew the tenancy agreement and to look for an alternative accommodation, which Ministry of Works and Housing, we are in collaboration with Works and Housing to find a suitable accommodation which will not be a drain on the ministry. Thank you. So
the auditors knows that as of December 2023, your ministry had paid $180,000 to this said facility managers. And you have some 11 months rent covering from February to December 2024 as outstanding. Have you been able to pay this money to the company?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have not paid that to the company.
All right. So what steps are you taking to ensure that, I mean, it doesn't become a judgment debt on the state?
Okay. Thank you once again. I think part of the arrangement was security deposits, which was in the contract. So a deposit was placed with the owners of the property. So the decision has been made to convert that deposit to part of the payment.
I mean, we are talking about public funds, debts that hang on our necks that continue to find itself in our books. I mean, you seem, just let us know if you are not properly briefed on this subject. Other than that, let me know, out of this 11 months, if there are securities and that you have 10, you are using that to pay, how much of that have you paid, and how much is owed to the state, so that the auditors can follow up and confirm. I mean, so that it does not appear in the audit report next year. So please be specific. If you need more time, we are able to give you.
Right. So, Madam Chair, we will serve you with the details. Yeah. Thank you.
Meaning that you are not fully briefed on the subject.
I am, but in relation to the question you asked of how much of it that we are yet to pay
But
and all that.
did you read the auditor's report?
Yes, please.
You saw the 11 months owed the company?
Yes.
And you did not find out whether or not you've been able to pay? And if you have done so, how much of that you've cleared?
Right. So, Madam Chair, the Director of Finance is here. I will want to revert to her in respect of that. Thank you.
Madam Chair, with regards to this one, I will have to come back and we'll finish the committee with what has been paid so far.
Madam, I mean, you represent the Ministry of Finance. I mean, that is the apex when it comes to financial accountability and issues surrounding finance. This audit report has been in the system for some time. I mean, we wrote to you to come and answer to this report, and you are now demanding for more time. We work with a calendar, And I feel that it's not too pleasant to hear
Mr. Chairman.
the stories coming from you.
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, this issue was brought to our attention, and we took a decision that the outstanding payment is part of the larger arrears that we are considering to pay. And so we haven't taken specific decision with regards to payment schedule for the arrears. It's part of the whole government arrears that we are scheduling to pay. But what we have done is that we have taken a firm decision to abrogate the contract, to discontinue the rent arrangement, because we agree with the auditors that it is exorbitant. And so the rent agreement has been terminated, and we are making alternative arrangements with the Public Works Department to look for a cheaper office accommodation for the entity. And so that is what has been done. But we can furnish you with detailed arrangements as to how we will clear the outstanding debt that is there. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister, for this assurance. Only to inform you that last week, YEA was here, and we had a similar situation where they had to pay some huge sums, even when they were using facilities that belong to government. So probably maybe you need to, from where you sit, give some instructions to MDA so that, I mean, they do not commit the state into renting very expensive apartments and offices for their use. I think that it will help. It should not just be limited to what you do at the Ministry of Finance, but it should be a government policy so that we look at these things and correct these anomalies in the system. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Chair. I think from the Minister's response to the second part of Honorable OPK's question, I think per the auditor's recommendation, with a staff strength of just 20, it will be more prudent for the ministry to procure an outright accommodation for MEDA. I looked at it again and I realized that as part of the agreement between the ministry and MEDA, they were supposed to be in charge of the implementation of the Economic Enclave project. What is the current situation? Is it that MEDA will continue to oversee the Ghana Cares or Batampa, or there is a different program for MEDA going forward? Because if there is no sustainable project for them to manage, then there is no need to keep them. So we should know what plans government has for MEDA and what MEDA will be doing going forward.
Thank you, Chairman. I would want to apprise the committee on government plans about MEDA at the appropriate time. Thank you.
All right. We'll be waiting on the Honorable Minister. The next one is award of contract without entity tender committee. And we are talking about 1.3 million Ghana cedis. The recommendation was for the Chief Director should initiate a process of implementing the provision under Section 92 of the Public Procurement Act as amended for the implementation of the sanctions against officers whose actions occasion that anomaly. Have you done that?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this issue occurred as a result of, the ministry using an inappropriate procurement method. So overall, the ministry has been adhering strictly to relevant requirements of the Public Procurement Act. So I will say this one was one of the issues
that wasn't the question. The Chief Director is supposed to initiate the process of implementing the provision. Do you know the Section 92 of the Public Procurement Act?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'm aware of it.
What is it?
It provides for sanctions against public officers for non-adherence to the Public Procurement Act.
Have you done it? Okay, if you haven't done it, this is what we will do. We are recommending you to the Attorney General for prosecution on that one. Simple. When it comes to procurement, we are not going to mess with it. You know it, and I know it. Let's move on. The next one is on paragraph 182. And that is for Ghana Statistical Service, Central Region, Cape Coast. Ghana Statistical Service, are you here?
Madam Chair, Ghana Statistical Service is not here, but they have provided evidence of recovery of the amount. So in the invite given, Statistical Service was not stated.
There, you can't say that. If you look at the reports and you claim you looked at the reports, you can't tell us they were not invited. Every time Ministry of Finance is invited, they come with all their agencies. You know very well. So don't use that as an excuse to say that they were not asked to come. But what did the report say? You had copies of the report. The report is online on Audit Services website. So if they did not come, how did they provide the answers to you? If they were not invited, why then did you accept their answers to bring to public accounts? See, let's not play tricks on public accounts, you understand? If for one reason they haven't been here, or they couldn't come, just explain. But don't tell us that the invite did not include them, when you know very well that Ministry of Finance has Statistical Service under its purview.
Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, they are not here, but according to him, he has their response. So what will be the pleasure of leadership? Will it be for him to respond to it, or you want them physically present?
But if they were not invited, how did he get the response from them?
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, we want to apologize for the statement that they were not invited. He made that statement because he didn't see their name on it. But as Chairman said, they are an agency under the Ministry of Finance. And once they have been cited, it stands that they should be here to respond to their queries. But like I said, the responses are here. We will take your guidance. If you would want them to come, we can get them to come. But if you want us to provide the response, we'll kindly do so. Thank you.
The recommendation was for the regional head should ensure that the accountant refund the unaccounted amount of 6,400 and send paid into the Auditor General's recovery account with Bank of Ghana, failing which the regional head should pay. Has that money been collected?
Yes, Madam Chair, I have here a paying slip from GCB, and the beneficiary account is Auditor General's recovery account.
When was it paid?
With an amount of 6,400, paid on the 12th of August, 2025.
Oh, today is 25th, and they paid 13 days ago.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Sir, what's your position again at the ministry?
Director Internal Audit.
Oh, Director Internal Audit. Goodness. Have you furnished the Auditor General with this information?
Madam Chair, I understand the Ghana Statistical Service was supposed to submit this to their auditors.
You have decided to take up their responsibility.
Not that
so
I
make
have
sure you follow
decided
through.
to take up the responsibility. So I've just gone through the program outline here. As I indicated earlier, I did not see Ghana Statistical Service here. So they indicated to us that they were not invited. And that, when you look at the program outline, Ghana Statistical Service is not in there. It was on that basis that when they gave us the evidence indicating that they had paid, we collected it from them. So,
have you given that story about the payment to the auditors?
So, as I said...
Sir, the question requires yes
No,
Oh,
no. I have not.
You have not?
Yes.
Since Cape Coast, Central Region, that was Cape Coast, right?
So, Madam Chair, as I'm saying, it is the responsibility of the Ghana Statistical Service to hand the evidence over to their.
Do you know, sir, if you allow us to ask the questions and for you to give us the answers, I think we will move forward. Do you know if they've given that information to the Auditor General?
That's the...
Chairman, respectfully, I think the confusion is in part because looking at your own program, you have listed Ministry of Finance and all the agencies that have infractions that are, and I'm sure they followed those programs.
Yeah.
And so he will not be in the position to answer detailed questions on this. And so respectfully, if you would want us to get statistical service, because all the information he has is evidence that they have complied with the Auditor General's directives and that they have the paying slip that is showing the payment into the accounts. He may not be able to answer any detailed questions posed on Ghana Statistical Service. And so if you would want them to appear before you to get detailed responses, I think we will be happy to bring them. Thank you.
Since he cannot answer it, we'll flag this one and they have to bring the statistical service over here now. Call them. If they were able to send you that, let them come. We have helicopters available to bring them. The next paragraph is paragraph 194. And Honorable Ernest Enim will take care of that one, please. Is GRA here?
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, it looks like we are going very fast. Per the program we have, your own program, GRA is supposed to be here, but in the afternoon. Okay, so they are arriving now. They are way ahead of time, so we can take them since they are here.
Please, clerk, let's swear in GRA and let them take the seat. Clerk, swear in GRA, please. we are still live. And clerk, can we swear in GRA?
Aye.
Deputy Commissioner, Customs Operations, Ghana Revenue Authority.
Yes.
I won't answer questions.
Yes. Okay, GRA, since you are here, your infraction is on paragraph 194, and it's a judgment date. And Honorable NS will take care of that, please.
Thank you, Chair. GRA, the auditors noted that through their examination of payment vouchers, the authority incurred a judgment debt totaling 2,097,000 Ghana cedis. A further review of the judgment by the High Court, Tema, dated 7 March, which indicates that the authority suspended the licenses of 3 companies for alleged malfeasances committed by these companies without fair hearing. However, the authority failed to furnish the court with sufficient and appropriate evidence to justify the decision of suspending the licenses of these companies. Commissioner, what I want to find out is what processes does GRA undertake before suspending the license of any institution? First, what you do before suspension.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Okene will take that response.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the first initiative we undertake is to establish an infraction against any trader or importer. And once that is determined, we raise what we call a customs offense report in currently we use the integrated customs management system to raise a customs offense report, and then the importer is liable and has issued a demand notice where we request that the payment is effected. So that is the process that we go through.
Okay, thank you. In this particular circumstance, GRA failed to provide appropriate evidence to justify the suspension of these licenses at the court. Can you brief the committee on why you failed to provide evidence for these suspensions?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we'd like to mention that we...
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, we've just been joined by the Commissioner General, and because he may provide some responses, I don't know if you want him to swear.
Yes, please. He has to be sworn in. Welcome, Commissioner General.
And that he was working with the time on the program. That is why he's now coming. So he's technically not late. Thank you.
It's after 12, so it's afternoon.
Okay. You don't have the cross. It's okay, it's okay. I, Anthony Kwesi Sapon,
swear by the Almighty God.
Swear by the Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Since Commissioner has been sworn in already now, I want to find out why GRA failed to provide the evidence at the court.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to state that prior to the introduction of the Integrated Customs Management System, we were using the Ghana Customs Management System as a means of conducting customs activities. In the year 2020, when the systems were changed and we migrated from the Integrated Customs Management System from the Ghana Customs Management System to the Integrated Customs Management System, we had some challenges, very serious challenge with the migration of data from the old system to the new system. And when the matter in discussion was pending before the courts, the information that was needed for our lawyers to pursue further the case could not be made available because of the migration and from the GCNet system to the Integrated Customs Management System, despite the fact that the Policy and Programs Unit responsible for the management of both systems made extended efforts to try and obtain that information. Unfortunately, it was without success. And so we could not obtain the data that was needed for the lawyers to pursue further the case.
Mr. Commissioner, I think I would want to stop you right there and move on to what has been done so far. Have you been able to recover the entire $2,097,000 as recommended by the auditors?
Thank you very much, Chairman. The current status is that the amount has not been recovered, and the reason is that the authority has not been able to assign it to specific officers in view of the fact that the information that was the subject in question was were not able to be retrieved, or we couldn't have access to it during the period of migration from one system to the other.
So this is very interesting. Whoever whoever made that decision
were captured on the system that was in place. So there was very little opportunity for manual information available. And because the matter came a few years thereafter, and the fact that the system, the data on the system had challenges with the migration, this is what created a difficulty to be able to specifically identify the details of the information that caused the suspension. Just to let the committee know that we've gone seriously into this matter. We've had difficulty in getting the information. But I do know that subsequent to this matter, the authority made reforms in terms of keeping data and having data ownership as far as doing these matters are concerned. So today, we have a more improved system that allows us to be able to avoid this situation now and into the future.
Mr. Commissioner, the recommendation was very clear and specific, that you recover this amount from the officers involved. Now your challenge is identifying which officers committed this infraction. So is it to say that you have committed in paying back this amount of $2 million, or what do you want the committee to do at this point?
Thank you very much. So the point we are making is that the recommendation is to charge specific officers that were involved. At the moment, we have had difficulties given the circumstances surrounding how this event occurred to be able to identify the officers and assign them. And that's why we are reporting back to the committee that we have had difficulties in actually identifying the officers to be able to practically implement the recommendation.
Are we saying that those people who suspended their licenses are ghosts? Seriously, somebody made that decision.
I think to add to what Chairman just said, I know at the GRA, there are specific officers assigned to various institutions and companies. And there are files that are open for companies. So once we go to the files of this institution, we should be able to identify which officers worked on it. So to tell the entire committee that you cannot identify the officers that are responsible to these three companies, it's quite strange. I don't know, even with systems, there are system traces, audit trails, so you can go back and find out which officer initiated this and all that. We can go back to the developers, and they should be able to help us in this. So, Commissioner, I think that the committee deserves a better explanation. But, Chair, we are in your hands. So,
okay, the minister wants to speak.
Chairman, we have discussed this issue extensively before appearing before your committee. And I took the position that you are taking currently. But the challenge they explained to us was that they still believe that the decision to suspend the licenses were taken correctly. The challenge they had was proving that in court. And it was in the process of defending GRA in court that they did not get the evidence that they needed at the time because of the migration of the data from one system to the other. And so the question is who to surcharge. Is it the person who, in their opinion, took the right decision to suspend licenses, or the ones that could not get the information to prosecute the case in court? So that is where the difficulty was, that genuinely It was the difficulty in proving the matter in court that led to the payment of the 2 million, and not necessarily the decision to suspend the licenses of the companies. And so that is the difficulty we have now as to who to identify and ask to pay the money. Is it the one who could not provide the information in court, or the one who suspended the license? And this is the genuine difficulty that they are presenting to us. And so that is what it is. Thank you.
Minister, I will leave this one in your hands for you to investigate further, because paying 2 million Ghana cedis like that is serious. So we'll flag it and give it to you, and we hope that you give us further and better information within 30 days, so that it will form part of our report to the floor of Parliament. The next one is a payment.
Chairman, thank you. We will delve into it, well, because we need the money.
Yes.
Honestly, I wish today we could pinpoint who to surcharge, but as you have advised, we will take it up and see what better conclusion we can come to.
Right.
Thank you.
The next infraction is on paragraph 198, payment of unearned salaries. Honorable.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, sir.
So this infraction has to do with payment of unearned salaries to the tune of 250,430 Ghana cedis. So the auditors noted that 8 staff who had separated by death, suspension, and resignation and leave of absence received unearned salaries totaling the amount stated above. So there are 8 of them, 1 who is deceased. The recommendation is that Commissioner General should recover this amount from all 7 and the next of kin of the deceased. Where are we in terms of recovery?
Thank you very much. We have at the moment recovered about 157,758 10 pesos out of the 250,492.73 pesos.
Okay, Commissioner.
Making a total of about 89.61%. There are 2 recoveries. There's also another element of recovery, which is 66,799.38 pesos. So the 2 make up the total recoveries of 157.
Has the evidence of this recovery has been presented to the auditors?
Yes, Chairperson.
Auditors, can you confirm if such an amount has been recovered from all 8?
Honorable Chair, the assertion made by the Commissioner is accurate. Thank you.
So, Commissioner, what steps are you taking to recover the difference?
Thank you. There are 1 or 2 of them that we are pursuing through their, pension funds, and we've written to the entities that hold the funds to be able to recover these monies, the remainder.
Just by way of information to the committee, the officer who validated all these payroll, is that officer still at post?
Chairman, let me explain that there was a process of validation that was running on a quarterly basis. What we have found out is that the quarterly process actually sometimes gets caught up with events within the quarter. So in order to improve and to prevent such event reoccurring, we have introduced a monthly validation by officers from the various centers with finance, and a quarterly validation by the internal audit to make sure that this does not recur going forward.
Thank you.
The next infraction is on paragraph 202. Yes, and Madam Chair, yes.
Commissioner General, on the report, it stated that the amount should recover with interest. So I want to know from you, whatever you have recovered, is it part with interest or you yet to, recover the interest? Thank you.
Now I've been informed that I need to say 202. So go ahead, paragraph 202.
Thank you, Chair. So this infraction is to do with indebtedness of state institutions. So when the Auditor General reviewed the debt stock of the large taxpayers' office, they noted that 9 institutions owe the authority taxes amounting to 47,411,774.68 Ghana cedis. The recommendation was for the Commissioner of the Domestic Tax Revenue Department to ensure that the head of the large taxpayers' office recovers the debt owed by applying the debt enforcement processes. Can you give the progress of this recovery?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, tax indebtedness of state institutions is one of the challenges we go through as an authority. And I think anytime we come here, this has been a topical issue that we go through. The story hasn't changed, and most of these state institutions are owing us. The issue before us, Madam Chair, we've just recovered 59,000 out of that. So we still have 47.3 million of this amount still owed by the state institutions mentioned in the report. Thank you, Madam Chair.
So, Graphic Communications Group, out of the 3.4 million, how much have they paid?
Madam Chair, they haven't paid anything.
Graphic hasn't paid anything.
Yes.
Gihok Distilleries, they owe 2.1 million. How much have they paid?
Madam Chair, they haven't paid anything. With the exception of Ghana Water, that has paid the 59 million, the rest, the 59,000. The rest of them mentioned haven't paid any.
So, Akosombo Industrial Company, 1.6 million, they haven't paid anything. Airtel Ghana Limited, 37.7 million, they haven't paid anything. Airtel Mobile Commerce, 1.8 million, they haven't paid anything. PBC Limited, 268,000, they haven't paid anything. The good old Tema Oil Refinery, 136,000, they haven't paid anything. Hey, Glow is here. Glow Mobile Ghana Limited, 185,000, they haven't paid anything. What Ghana Water has paid has cleared. Is it Ghana Water has cleared, right?
Yes. With respect to this, they've cleared their liability.
They've cleared.
Yes.
So the other ones, what time limit do you have for them?
Madam Chair, they've exhausted the time limit, and as I indicated, one of the challenges we're facing as a revenue collecting institution has to do with indebtedness by the state institution. In fact, Madam Chair, what you are seeing in here is
is related to only 2023. But if you get the indebtedness of the state institutions, they are far more than this. So it's a big challenge for us when it comes to revenue mobilization in the country. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Please let the committee know what your challenges are.
Very well. We will submit to you the total indebtedness of the state institutions to the committee for you to assist us to how we can recover.
I'm not asking for you to submit the total indebtedness. I want to know what your challenges are so the committee can best assist.
The challenges has to do with cash flow from these state institutions. Some of them mentioned are having serious cash flow challenges. So as a result, they are unable to honor their tax obligations. That is as simple as that. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I just want to find out from the Commissioner. He says that the challenges they face has to do with the state institutions. And he's even saying they will be glad to furnish us for us to assist them. I don't know. The committee is not a debt or revenue collected. I mean, that's not part of our mandate to assist you. You have been mandated to collect revenue on behalf of government. So if you have state institutions owing these huge sums of money, what are you doing to ensure that these monies are recovered from these state institutions? Because I know if it were a private company, perhaps you would have sent your men to go and lock up their offices, waiting for them to come and pay for you to open. What are you doing as far as these debts are concerned? How are you going to recover them? We want to know the practical, steps that you are taking to ensure that these monies are recovered. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, just before the Commissioner General comes in, I noticed that the first one is actually under the Honorable colleague who just spoke, Ministry. Honorable, it looks like you must help them all.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Chair. Certainly, we don't intend to make the August committee a debt collection one. We don't intend to do that at all. But I will say that we continuously engage these institutions. The law normally permits us to grant them about 6 to 12 months repayment plan, which the Commissioner earlier indicated they have exhausted. For some of these institutions, we've gone ahead to even take the highest enforcement measures, including garnishing their accounts. But those things yields nothing when there's nothing in those accounts. So we are continuously engaging and discussing with them to look at improvement in their business and at which point that they can make good some of these amounts. So as he said, the challenge is more in terms of the performance of these institutions and their ability to pay the taxes on time. But nonetheless, we're still keeping our eyes on them to make sure that at any point in time where we are able to collect some of these, we will do so. Thank you, Madam Chair.
The next infraction is on paragraph 206. Honorable Nasser will take that one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner, this figure looks very frightening to me. Unpaid value-added taxes to the tune of 403 million Ghana cedis, 360,040 Ghana cedis, and $4 million, 328,067 Ghana cedis. I hope it looks frightening to you as well. Commissioner. Paragraph 206. Please, are you there?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairperson. So in respect of the 403 million Ghana cedis, Madam Chairperson, we have so far recovered 232 million out of that amount, and we have, based on objections by some of these entities, we have agreed to 11.2 million as an assessment that need not be there. Let me state that at the time that this audit issue was raised, some of the entities were going through an assessment, and therefore we've taken out 11 million. So overall, we have so far recovered 60.31%, and we are still pursuing the remainder 160 million with the entities that have not fully settled their debt.
Commissioner, if you look at number 7, Legon TSC, they are owing to the tune of 111 million Ghana cedis. Is there any challenge at this TSC, Legon? Is there any peculiar challenge? And $4.3 million, Commissioner. So what is happening?
All right. Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. The Legon TSC, that is the GRA Tax Center, Service Center. So that is the center responsible for collecting. But that center is not the branch owing the debt. There were 2 balances that the center was meant to focus and collect. So the CD component, which is 72.8 million, so far, the CD components is 111.4 million.
Yes.
And then so far, 72.8 million has been recovered, with representing 75%, with an outstanding of 27 million, which we are still pursuing. Then there's a component in USD, which is 4.3 million. This component, we have not been able to recover so far because the taxpayer has contested and has raised the matter with the Independent Appeal Tax Board for resolution. And because that has been raised, we need to wait for the determination of the matter before recoveries can be made. Thank you, Madam Chairperson.
Hello, Commissioner General. If you contest a tax that has been held against you, aren't you supposed to pay 30% of that before you contest? So that if you say they have paid nothing, why do you accept that then they can go for arbitration or they can go to the independent tax institutions? But the law is very clear that if you want to contest any tax that is held against you, you have to pay 30% of that first before.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. So the 4.3 is the 70%, which is subject to contest, and that the 30% has already been paid to allow them to contest the entire amount. Yeah.
Commissioner, you made mention of recovery of about 200 million. Do we have evidence to that?
Madam Chairperson, we do have, yes.
Auditors, please can you confirm?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that a total of 231,966,855.06 has been recovered, and the objection determined is 11,296,101, making the outstanding balance to stand at 160,097,083 cedis.98. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner, these figures look frightening. What are the measures being put in place to mitigate this risk? Seriously, I don't understand it.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. The collection of taxes, sometimes we are faced with a challenge and difficulties from, if I may say, difficult taxpayers. Nonetheless, we continue to focus on them, and we continue to chase them to make sure that we collect the taxes that are due for the state. In some of these instances, it may take some time, but because we focus on them, we eventually will collect. So, Madam Chair, I'd like to assure that we continue to work on the outstanding balances and make sure that we collect the taxes for the state.
Commissioner, please give us some timelines so that this one will not roll over to next year. Because seriously, these are taxpayers' money, which we can use to build hospitals and etc. We cannot sit down in this country and we are not collecting our taxes. So please commit to some timelines. But we don't want to see these old figures next year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to assure that we are not sitting at all. Indeed, we are doubling our steps and running to make sure that we collect these taxes. I would like to assure that by the time we come before you next year, these amounts would have been fully recovered.
The Minister for Finance is taking leave of us. He has to attend to an equally important...
The Deputy.
Hey, I'm sorry. The Deputy Minister is taking leave of us. He has to attend to a very important assignment, but he'll be back to come and join us. All right. Thank you very much, Minister. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Chairman, I think that my question, those other officers sitting in are capable of answering. So, but it's very simple. I want to understand the assessment period as indicated in the auditor's report is for 2023. And here we are, so far we are chasing debts in relation to 2023. And the highest figure I have heard is you've been able to collect 75% for one of them. That is the one with the highest figure, which is Legon TSC. My question is, as the one who actually does the assessment of these taxpayers, do you take into account their capability and then the conditions prevailing within the tax period, such that we don't overstate the expectation in terms of the revenue expected, and we are unable to recover or we are unable to realize it at the end of the year? Because here we are in 2025, so 2024 is also pending, and we might run into the same situation. And when we're chasing, I don't think that it will be prudent, or maybe it will be okay for us to be chasing debts in relation to 2023 and then 2024 to come to add. You are there, so maybe you can share with this committee some of your experiences, such that you don't overstate what your expectations are, and then we come, realizing that you are not working. Perhaps you are working hard enough, but you are not realizing it because the budget, the targets that you have of these entities are just not reasonable.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I think to understand this, we should know the basis of the assessment that we do in the Ghana Revenue Authority. We have different types of assessments. We have provisional assessment, we have the self-assessment, and we have audit assessment, which we normally call additional assessments. Now, most of the liabilities that we are seeing here come after audits. So you might have paid all your liabilities per your self-assessment or your provisional assessment. The Commissioner General has the power to come after and come and look into your books and see whether indeed you paid all taxes due. So you have instances like 2023 that we are talking about. This is as a result of audit that were done in 2024. And this one raised the liability that no, in 2023, looking at your returns, you still have some liabilities that you are supposed to pay. And this is where we normally have contestation between us and the taxpayers. So some taxpayers may object, come with further and better particulars to show that no, the assessment is not true or it is true. So for most of the times with our self-assessment returns, which taxpayers file, we collect no less than 95% of that. So we don't have much problem when it comes to that. But with the additional assessment, this is what we normally have. And this is a continuous thing that we do because we have to ensure and satisfy ourselves that taxpayers are declaring the correct taxes to the state. So we continue to have this assessment coming in because you have up to 6 years that the Commissioner General can go to review assessment. And when that is done, whatever liability that comes out of it, we collect. But on your other question as to whether we assess the ability of the taxpayer to pay before we raise the assessment, for us as Ghana Revenue Authority, once we know that the tax is due, our duty is to levy and collect. So if the taxpayer feels that he is not in a position, I think that power rests with Parliament, and they have to route it through Parliament if they want waiver of the taxes. Commissioner General don't have that power. It rests with Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, at the rate we are going, if we don't hurry up, we'll finish at 8 p.m. So let's limit follow-up questions, please. The next paragraph is paragraph 210, and Honorable Adam will take that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity. Mr. Chairman, paragraph 210 is about unpaid income taxes amounting to 287,333,001 Ghana cedis and 214,281 US dollars and 149,886 euros. In the management response, management agreed to collect the debt by enforcing the debt recovery procedures. I would want to find out from the Commissioner General if he can update the committee on how much they have recovered so far and when they intend to collect the rest.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In respect of the tax debt denominated in USD, we have fully recovered it. And then also, in respect of the component denominated in euros, that has also been fully recovered. Then there's a component of 287.3 million, for which we have recovered about 58%. And we are focusing to collect the remainder of 121.5 million. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Section 51 of the Revenue Administration Act 2016, Act 915, gives the Commissioner the power to even use court proceedings to recover the money. I want to find out from him what
he is doing to recover the rest of the 42% that is left, and which processes has he employed so far to recover those monies for the states?
Thank you very much. So the enforcement processes includes, in this particular case, settling some of the tax debt for the taxpayer to settle over a period of time. If that fails, then some of the other enforcement measures may include physically sealing off their business or garnishing their accounts. And these are the very highest form of enforcement. And these are used rarely, except in the cases where the taxpayer willingly, willfully fails to settle after we've agreed. The court process is one of the final resort where we take all the measures and we are not able to. But in these instances where the taxpayers are paying, we have not moved to the court process yet. However, where we have to, Madam Chair, we do go to court to use the laws, to use the courts to enforce the recovery.
All right, next infraction is on paragraph 214, and Honorable Nana Osei-Agye will take care of that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner, please, are you there? 214.
Oh, sorry, Chairman.
You are there? Okay. Commissioner, it looks as if your officers are killing the state. Unpaid PAYE, pay as you earn taxes, totaling 139,833 and 139 million and 549,955. This is due to the state. US dollars. This is due to the state, Commissioner. And your offices, the same Legon is contributing the highest in this infraction. The auditors recommended that the Commissioner, Domestic Tax Revenue Department Division, should enforce its debt recovery procedures to recover the debt and apply the provisions of Act 915. Commissioner, these are monies they've deducted from the employees. They've already deducted it. So why are they not paying the state? Where is the money, Commissioner? I don't know what you are coming to say again. But the state needs the money.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. As the Commissioner DTR previously mentioned, the assessment regime we have is either provisional or self-assessment. However, after the taxpayer has done their own assessment, as an authority, we go back to check and verify whether the assessments were done correctly and accurately in line with law. So these debts are raised after we've conducted the audit. So we are not killing the state, indeed. We are making sure that the state survives by collecting the additional taxes that we find through the audit. Madam Chair, again, there are two components here. In terms of the dollar debt, it has been fully recovered. And in terms of the CD debt, so far we have recovered 47%. So that is the current state of this. And we are focusing to make sure that we'll bring the debt to zero.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. But in terms of the CD, in nominal figures, how much have you recovered? The percentages will confuse the ordinary person. We want to know how much you've...
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. We have recovered 49.3 million Ghana cedis.
All right, the next infraction is on paragraph 218. and Honorable Ernest will take care of that.
Thank you, Chair. So this has to do with unpaid withholding taxes to the tune of 101,807,494 and US dollars of 5,451,000. Commissioner, can you tell us so far if there's been any recovery of this?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This matter relates to the same company which featured in the previous point, which is Tech Africa Offshore Limited. Again, they have contested the USD of 5.4 million, and they have brought the matter before the Independent Tax Appeals Board, and we are going through the process with them. In respect of the CD component of 101.8 million, we have recovered 34.4 million and have also re-examined 6.9 million out of that debt. So overall, 40.66% is resolved or recovered.
Thank you. Auditors, can you confirm if 34 million has been recovered out of this?
Yes, Honorable Chair, an amount of 34,435,491.87 has been recovered.
Thank you.
The next one is paragraph 222. Honorable Jeffrey, please.
Yeah, this infraction has to do with unpaid communication service tax. 5 communication service providers had not paid 1,905,657.32 as communication service taxes to the Commissioner General. The Auditor General recommended that the Commissioner, Domestic Revenue Tax Department, ensures that the heads of the tax officers concerned collect the communication services tax from the service provided, from the service providers. Has that been done?
Thank you very much. Madam Chair, out of the 1.9 million, we have recovered 1.84 million, representing 97%. And we continue to use various enforcement actions to retrieve the outstanding balance of 65,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner General, we have pages upon pages about the same issue, about collections. Now, let's make it easier for you and for us. Why don't you go through all these, give us a comprehensive list about what your debt is, what you've collected so far, and what you are going to do to collect the rest of it. Those individual TSCs will do the same thing and then send it to you. And if we could have that within 30 days, that will solve your issues and solve our issues. But it's the same mundane thing. And if we could do that for us, that will help all of us in this situation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We will gladly accept that offer from the committee and submit the comprehensive position to the committee as directed. Yeah.
Within 30 days. Okay. Now, if you look at the paragraph 381, that one is a little bit different. Unapproved tax exemptions. That's from Western Region, Takrady. Okay, that would also be part of the report that you will give us. Explain to us why unapproved tax exemptions to the...
Okay. Madam Chair, the 381 has been resolved at the moment, yes.
Commissioner General, how was it resolved?
Yes. Yeah. We have provided the auditors with the parliamentary approval for those tax waivers.
Retrospective.
No, this at the time of the audit, the approvals were in existence.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that.
So, in that case, Commissioner General.
Chair,
we would expect
with respect, if you can permit me. Yeah, with respect, there are two issues here separately, like I want us to take it on, like paragraph 358. Release transit transaction pending. Ghana Revenue Authority, Custom Division. And then another one also.
Sir, this is all part of the things that he's going to get for us within 30 days. You know we are sitting again at the end of September. So by that time, he would have brought it. And if he hasn't brought it, we'll call him again for him to come and meet with us. So, Commissioner General, you and your people are discharged.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's call Statistical Service, please.
Madam Chair, on behalf of the authority and management and staff and our minister, we would like to thank you for the opportunity of appearing before you, and we would like to assure that the directives that have been given will comply on or before the date. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and we look forward to GRA achieving its targets for 2025. Thank you.
Statistical Service, are you here?
Is Statistical Service here? Ministry of Finance.
Okay, order, we are still live on air.
We understand Statistical Service is still not here, and so we would like to reschedule Statistical Service for 29th September 2025. Ministry of Finance, you have to come with statistical service on the 29th of September 2025 because we understand they are not here. So this brings us to the end of the session for this particular sitting. And would like to thank honorable members for their devotion and time to this Public Accounts Committee of the 9th Parliament. Also like to thank the Ghana Audit Service for the immense work they have done in helping us come up with these infractions and see how best we can all work together to bring these infractions to a minimum and also collect every penny that has gone the other way. I'd also like to thank the ministries, departments, and agencies that attended upon us. We will come back again on the 29th of September and we'll continue with the reports on the Auditor General, on the public accounts of Ghana for ministries, departments, and other agencies, as well as the audit report on statutory accounts of government. The statutory
public boards and
statutory corporations of Ghana. We'll also look at that one in our next sitting. I would like to thank our media people for the support you have given to us throughout our sitting. We thank the Secretariat as well as Parliament and the Hansard Department. And we hope that per the instructions we have given out to all auditees, you carry them out as is expected of you. Within 30 days, we'd like for the auditors to receive all the payments, all the instructions that were given for us to follow within the 30 days. And we look forward to coming back to assess how far or how much we have recovered in terms of the monies that we are supposed to recover. And so on this note, we'd like to thank everybody, thank the people of Ghana for watching and also giving us their inputs on some of the issues that have been raised. We will follow to the letter the one concerning the payroll, the one concerning Ghana Education Service, and the taxes as well that we need to recover. So thank you very much, and thank everybody for making this happen. Rankin, you have been a very good chairperson for this sitting, and we look forward to you taking up the mantle again when we come back, because it is still reports on the 2024 financial year. Thank you very much, members. Thank you.